Hello, everyone. It has been about a month. We sopranoed you. We went to black. Wasn't sure if we were coming back, but I just had to talk some Michigan football. And not saying we're back forever, but spring game is less than 48 hours away. And Bryce Underwood, Michigan's superstar, and I think likely starter for the season opener, he is going viral in more ways than one. So we're going to address the haters and losers and talk about a little nice story of something that broke this morning on Thursday. Today's show, viral Bryce Underwood, as I just mentioned. A couple stories. One, a lot of haters, a lot of Twitter trolls, and we're going to address that. What's our little recruiting, little transfer portal rumors, who's going in, who's going out, and then spring game on Saturday noon at the Big House will not be televised. Have a few nuggets for you. It is the Michigan Football Report. Young Harbaugh's back. I'm back. Coming up right now. These Wolverines will wrap up spring practice with a maize versus blue game. It's going to be Jadyn Davis against Bryce Underwood. No Davis Warren, no Mikey Keene, and Andrew Babalola. We'll talk about him. You know, we got some freshmen making moves in these drafts to see which player is on maize, which player is on blue for this team. But Blake Corum joined Bussin with the boys. They used to be with Barstool. Where are they at now, Jack? I think they're at like They went like not Fanatics, FanDuel or something. They might have signed him as like an exclusive deal for a while for a throwing challenge. Basically, they start at the goal line. Can we hit it from 10 yards, the crossbar? Can we hit it from the 15? Can we hit it from the 20? Ironically, I think the first one out was Taylor Lewan. I think Corum was out after that, and then Bryce Underwood missed. And then it was what's his name? The other guy, not Lewan. Will Compton and Jadyn Davis from the 20-yard line, a 30-yard shot out. And, it was Jadyn Davis who actually beat him. So that was your finals. But what people are talking about, as you see here, pretty interesting video. I thought it was at least entertaining. I watched it. Is Underwood, Jadyn Davis, Blake Corum back, not injured anymore like he was for much of the NFL season. And that competition was not what actually went viral, was not what everyone wanted to talk about yesterday on Twitter, on X, on Facebook. It was Bryce Underwood and maybe his weight, maybe his appearance. If you guys followed me on Twitter, you would have seen a little chatter there on Wednesday. I am 4 followers away from Twitter, from 17,000, by the way, on Twitter, a.k.a. X. So if you guys could hit me up with a follow, it is at James Yoder. We'll put it right. I'll put it at the end of the first paragraph of today's description. Click that link, follow me. Let's get to 17,000 here on Thursday. I'd love to have you part of that community, which is kind of the always on place to find me. So here's the internet sickos out there zooming in on a photo of Bryce Underwood. And I'll be honest, he does look like he's got a little bit of a belly, but I'm going to defend him in that sometimes you've got those spandex shorts that are really tight, and if you kind of flip them out, if you pull your shirt up, like they suck your gut in, and you can look a lot bigger than you really are if you've got like 30-inch waist shorts, Velcro sucking you in, or spandex. And your skin's really got nowhere else to go. So people were having a field day creating memes. They created this with AI or Photoshop and say, take the photo, move his right arm up, and I can have a massive cheeseburger. Now, there's this internet guy named Drewski. All right, they put him in a Bryce Underwood jersey, 19, looking just massively thick there, saying, hey, wow, Bryce Underwood, he's looking a lot bigger since he got to the Big House. And then this one, Don Thomas, I don't know, kind of just a jackass on Twitter. Says a lot of funny things. People take shots at him, but he's a big boy himself, Don is. And what does that say? Look at that belly. So proud. That's actually kind of funny. No offense to Don. I've met him a few times. He's okay, but he is an obnoxious guy. And people are just having a field day, mostly Ohio State fans, some Michigan State fans. And then this guy here, dealing every day. Friend of the program, nice guy. But he says $4 million pays for a lot of Zingermans. If you're not familiar, Jack, very popular sandwich shop in Ann Arbor, line out the door when it's nice weather outside, especially. How about this one? Fat QB with a picture of Bryce Underwood on Menace to Sports, former Ohio State wide receiver coach Zach Smith's YouTube channel. And I'll say this, okay? People taking shots at Bryce Underwood. People saying, hey, he's putting too much money into his belly. He's eating too well now that he's got his big NIL deal. You know who else got some money? You know who else took the shirt off before? Looked a little overweight? That's not James Jones. That's Patrick Mahomes right there, okay? 3 Super Bowls. Maybe second best quarterback in the history of the NFL, potentially. I think by the time his career's over, he definitely will be the second biggest, best quarterback behind, obviously, Michigan's own Tom Brady. I want to, just let people know. I've got the bad news for you guys. If you think that Bryce Underwood's little belly, when he's still 17 years old, right? He doesn't turn 18 until August. He technically, the way kids are getting held back this year, if you got a summer birthday, he could be going into his senior year of high school. So this could be sophomore year or second semester of his junior year in high school. If you look at most quarterbacks, they are already 19 by the time they hit their freshman year because they get held back in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, something like that. But I got some news from people. With those foes, I want to address this, though. Taylor Lewan said, a lot of people got something to say about 19's tummy. If you saw what I saw at practice the other day, you'd be terrified to see this man lining up against your team. And at that same practice, at that same event with Lewan and Compton, awarded the nation's best player, basically the Heisman Trophy for high school, the Bobby Dodd Award. And then he went viral for this, all right? Not only is he the best quarterback in high school football and potentially the best freshman quarterback we've ever seen in the history of college football coming up in about 4 or 5 months from now, he also is a wonderful man, right? Won the Bobby Dodd Award and then gifts a Chevy SUV to a security guard. He's the kind of the first guy to befriend him, just chatted him up, talked to him before he even knew he was a quarterback when he was a freshman 4 years ago, and bought him a $35,000 entry-level Chevy SUV, but nevertheless, use the NIL money for good, right? Number 3 on this point is that spandex waist sign. Like I said, I've got, I'm thin in myself, but I've sucked this in. All of a sudden, the belly's got nowhere to go. Now, I don't think he does himself any good by going midriff, right? That's a look that teenage girls were doing 20 years ago. It's kind of making a comeback now, but I don't know why dude football players would do it. Kind of weird to me. Nevertheless, I think that, Bryce Underwood is not in the best shape, right? But we saw Patrick Mahomes. Go look at Tom Brady, right? Go look at Tom Brady when he was, coming out of Michigan after 5 years as a 23-year-old. Let me know what he looked like. Look at Bryce Underwood. Not too far difference. He can still slang that ball. He can still make throws. You see your boy Dov Kleiman. Bryce Underwood has the best balls I've ever seen. They sold that account to somebody. He just makes the ridiculous thing. He said Bryce Underwood has some of the nicest balls I've ever seen. That was his tweet. Just so ridiculous. Let me ask you guys this question: are you concerned with Bryce Underwood's weight? With Bryce Underwood, maybe even appearance? Comment yes or no below. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Hayes Fawcett from On3. He's kind of like a recruiting guy that's been making edits. Now he's actually working in the business. I lost my spot here in the script, Jack. Where are we? I was looking down, talking too much about Bryce. There we go. All right. You guys remember this name? Elias Rudolph was committed to Michigan summer of 2023 for about 2 months. And then Miami comes in. They get him to visit. NIL deal that maybe Michigan wasn't as aggressive at that time. And he flips to Miami a week after his visit there, August of 2023. Ends up signing with them that December for their 2024 class. Spends 1 year in Coral Gables, and he is back on the market. And I think people have said this before, right, from Michigan. In the past, Jim Harbaugh's philosophy was, hey, we're not going to play this game of overpaying and doing all this stuff in NIL in 2021 and 2022 and 2023. We'll see a lot of these guys 1, 2, 3 years down the road when it may not work out, and they're looking to, be in a program that originally attracted them to Michigan. They go chase the money. We might see them down the line, so we'll keep, appearances. We'll keep the relationship going a little bit there. So could Michigan go after him, right? Top 400 player, was initially like a top 100, 150, kind of slid down the rankings as a senior, but didn't make much of an impact really at Miami. We'll have 4 years of eligibility for Michigan. Now, Michigan's lost a handful of players this spring. Just want to make sure you guys recap where we're at. But most recently, Amarian Walker, he is gone. He left the program, right? Third transfer in like a year, right? And literally in like a year and a half since start of 2024. Jadyn McBurrows, who had the interception against Michigan State after getting attacked in 2023 in the underneath the Michigan Stadium. And then Benjamin Hall, spring practice warrior from the last couple of years, but got overtaken in the depth chart by both Jordan Marshall and Justice Haynes. So he wanted to see if he had anything going on there as a player, potentially another program. I bet he ends up in a MAC level school, and we'll see how he does things. So next story, we will go inside Michigan football practice. Got some little nuggets of information. Got some more coming for you tomorrow that you will not want to miss. But I am so excited to have Factor back as the sponsor of the Michigan Football Report. You see this appearance, Jack? You think it's a mistake? It's not, because I eat well and I eat healthy with Factor. Make this season your best season yet with nutritious 2-minute meals from Factor. Eating well has never been this easy. Just heat up and enjoy, giving you more time to do what you want. Get outside instead of prepping and cooking indoors. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat. Perfect for any active lifestyles. With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your goals. You choose from Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. Factor powers your day with satisfying breakfasts, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts. It's easy to savor more this spring. Factor meals pack in the flavor with none of the fuss. I love it. Jack loves it. I eat it all the time, and maybe nothing makes me more excited these days is when I see that Factor box show up at my door. Get started at factormeals.com/MichiganChat50off. Use that code MichiganChat50off. It's down in the comments and is the second paragraph of the description. Click on that link. 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's MichiganChat50off is the code. factormeals.com/MichiganChat50off. 50% off your first box plus free shipping. You will absolutely love it. Let's go inside Michigan football spring practice. A couple little nuggets that I want to talk about. I'm sure some of these you guys have heard about. I'll actually have some real inside stuff on Friday. Got some information we got to kind of formulate, put together, so you will not want to miss Friday afternoon's video. If you're watching this one, come back on Friday. Hell, subscribe to the channel. But surprising pick, right? They drafted teams, right? The assistant coaches drafted teams. The number one pick in the draft, maybe starting left tackle this year, if things shake out there, is 5-star, should still be a senior in high school, will be true freshman, Andrew Babalola out of the Kansas City, state of Kansas, wherever it is. Top 20 player nationwide, enrolled early in January, and he is a mountain of a man. Can't wait to see him on the field. The game is not going to be televised on Saturday, but you guys will get to, if you going to there, you'll see him in the uniform, or the game is televised next week. You can watch it on TV. So Andrew Babalola, number one pick in the draft. Before we continue on this, I want to make sure you guys help keep us the most subscribed to, and we'll be back to the biggest audience on a monthly basis before long. Help keep us number one most subscribed YouTube channel covering Michigan football. Hit that subscribe button, youtube.com/Michigan TV. Send it to your friends. You see the next two behind us as far as subscribers, the Wolverine from the On3 network, and then Scammy Web and the WTKA 24/7 Sports Michigan Insider. Big corporate conglomerates can't keep up with us here at the Michigan Football Report. That's thanks to you guys. Keep it rolling so we can keep the lead, slim as it is, over those channels. Let's talk about some spring players to watch. People that I think have made an impact from what I've heard, and I want to watch, see if they do it in this game and into the 2025 season. TJ Guy, set to have a hell of a year on the edge. Him and Derek Moore, we saw what they could do in the bowl game. We saw what they could do against Ohio State. I think it will continue on into the season. How about Justice Haynes, right? Haynes is the guy to watch for. Really, the reason is Benjamin Hall left for a reason, right? He must saw what he saw from Haynes, from what we saw at the in the bowl game, from Michigan's running back position without Donaven Edwards, of course. And he's got to make an impact because Michigan is now very thin at the running back position. It is really only Jordan Marshall and Justice Haynes that can make an impact, that really have any track record at all. Channing Goodwin, someone I've got as in my two deep at the wide receiver position, but he is not somebody that has done it much of the field, and a lot of Michigan fans may have forgot about him. Remember, he came in with Jadyn Davis, Jonathan Goodwin's son, and the great Michigan offensive lineman, and he has had a hell of a spring. I think he's somebody who could, maybe not by game one, but by middle of the season, be up there as Michigan's second, third, or fourth target, although I've got him as a backup right now. Donaven McCulley, he might be the key to the season for Michigan, because if Bryce Underwood or Jadyn Davis or Mikey Keene has the same output, the same route running, the same talent level, and the same ability as the wide receivers from last year, it doesn't matter how good their passing is going to be, how good of an upgrade it's going to be. If they can't get anybody open, if they've got to always throw in a very, very, very tight window, it is going to be a challenge for this team. And then I am keeping my eyes on the offensive line and defensive line transfers, because the transfer portal closes about a week after the spring game, and Michigan brought in some talents, but if these guys aren't living up to the billing, then they might have to go back out and get another player in the spring portal. I'm talking about Ferris State offensive lineman Lawrence Hattar, and then Cal Poly Brady Norton. Did you see him in the news this week, Jack, a couple days ago? He did an interview, and he said, Well, Ohio State offered me, and then Michigan offered me, and I grew up a Notre Dame fan, but Ohio State didn't return my calls. They ghosted me. So F them. I committed to Michigan when they return my calls. Can't wait to beat them. And then the former big-time recruits, right? Damon Payne Jr. from Alabama, Trey Williams from Clemson. I put Trey Williams as a starter in our depth chart back in March. If one of these guys from the two offensive linemen and one of the two defensive linemen, they have got to step up and be a starter, top 3, 4, 5 player in the Big Ten at their position. And if not, Michigan better pull out the Oracle money, right, and make an NIL deal, because those are positions of need that they lost talent on that could be make or break, along with wide receiver, to having a 11-1 regular season or an 8-4 regular season. I am not going to the spring game. Jack's not going either. I've got some spies. They're going to send me some, Connor Stallion style video. If you are going to the spring game, comment spring. Hell, maybe I'll message you as well. See if I can get some of your takes on the spring game for our Saturday or Sunday spring game recap. Thanks so much for watching the Michigan Football Report. It is great to be back. Go Blue.